Mount Rushmore. And he took a photo of the mountain with the faces carved into it. And the caption said more or less, formed by billions of years evolutionary process. I laughed, reacted, as did many others. But that joke made me think about the Big Bang, creation, and how God is as obvious as a computer in the woods. If we turn to Romans 1:19, we can read, since what may be known about God is plain to them, because God has made it plain to them. For since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that people are without excuse. If you ran into Mount Rushmore with no knowledge of the world, no knowledge of American history, you would be very foolish, I believe, the world would say, to think that that was a naturally occurring feature, those faces in the rock. And yet, most of us that grew up in the world accepted that we beings that are conscious, that are able to feel love, that are able to think and problem solve and create and destroy, but we are the result of random chance. And as I've been spending more and more time in the woods preparing for my hikes at this new job, it's like if I was doing this walk right now and behind me, instead of my bag, if behind me instead of my bag, or even my bag, God is as obvious as a book bag in the middle of the woods. I wouldn't think that that book bag just sprouted out of nothing. I know that order and reason come from something. If you build a house and leave it to itself, there's something called atrophy. Everything tends towards disorder when left alone. Things collapse, but yet we came from things less evolved than us. And what is the meaninglessness of it? If we are just random, then we and me have no purpose. We have no hope. Everything is just relative and everything is just subjective. But with creation and a creator, there's intent and there's purpose behind it. We are, as my friend Pastor Dave Anderson would say, each God's masterpiece. And that should fill us with hope and joy and abounding wonder, as opposed to the nihilistic doom and gloom of a brief, momentary spark of meaningless nothingness that is just random. That's what's been on my mind. Hope it helps.